Day weekend here at Flushing Meadows, New York. Fans have come out to watch tennis and forget about the dreaded going back to school and back to work. And about this back to school business, you'd better have gone to graduate school to play Pete Sampras, because this might be called Arthur Ashe Stadium, but this is his house when you talk about the U.S. Open. The match today will be called by the Ryan Express. Tim Ryan, John McEnroe, and Mary Carrillo. Tim, you're on.
Thank you, Pat. It's number 1 against number 15 in the round of 16. The top seed, Pete Sampras, and the 15 seed, Peter Korda. And I'm looking forward to joining John and Mary for this match on the Arthur Ashe Stadium court. It will be entertaining for sure, the way that Korda plays, and of course the excellence of Pete Sampras. What about Sampras's trek to the round of 16 so far, and how does this matchup look to you?
Well, he's had an easy road. A couple qualifiers, practice sessions for him so far. Peter Korda, a big step up. I love to watch Korda play. A fantastic shot maker. I'm biased. I'm left-handed. Shows a lot of emotion. Look forward to a good match, but can't possibly pick anyone but Pete Sampras.
Well, in the match at Wimbledon, he had to go 5 sets against Peter Korda before he got through him. That was not an easy task for him there.
Well, it was a tough 5-setter, but he didn't lose his serve the entire match. Korda's got all the shots. I think, there's the real shot right there. He did that twice at the end of the 4th set. Take a look at this. This is a beautiful move. I think the celebration of the year so far. And he promises a lot more if he does well here today. I saw him just before the match in the locker room, and he's fired up to show the triple scissor kick.
Of course, Pete Sampras aces to win it in 5 over Peter Korda. And Pete Sampras out here now in search of another U.S. Open title on the new Arthur Ashe Stadium court. Mary, let's talk a little bit about Peter Korda. John has to some degree here. He's had a really good run this season, and that's why he's seated number 15 here.
Well, he's dangerous. Not only is he a good slashing lefty, he's got a good lefty serve, although the big question mark is, how many times is he going to get broken against Sampras? He's very dangerous off the ground as well. He beat Vince Spadea, the American, early on, went 3 sets against Martelli, had to go a little while against Martin Daum. He's had a pretty good road to this round. He should be fairly fresh. But the thing about Korda is, he's dangerous with his serve. He's dangerous off the ground. He's dangerous to his opponents. And if he's having an off day, he's dangerous to photographers. He's dangerous to box seat holders. And sometimes this guy gets a little wild.
That's true. Now, on the other hand, he is a left-hander, and that's a problem for all the right-handers. And the last lefty to win this tournament is right over here to our left. What kind of problems, if any, does it present to Sampras?
Well, Pete used to have problems against lefties, but that has not been the case. The late Tim Gullickson, his former coach, explained to him how to return better against lefties, had to really position himself differently. And though Korda has a good serve, I really think that he's going to be up against it all day long. I think his serve is more effective on grass than it will be here today, especially when he's got to put in some second serves. So I think that will be, that'll be the plan of attack for Sampras, to break down that Korda second serve and move on.
He's an experienced guy, age 29. You saw his match record there on the year. As we said, he's had a good one. For Pete Sampras at age 26, seems like he's been out here forever. This is his 10th U.S. Open. 5 titles this year alone, and an outstanding record of 39-8 on the year.
Well, Tim, I'll tell you the other problem for Korda is the heat right now. It's the hottest day of the tournament. If you saw that, say 6'3", 160. He's a skinny guy, and the heat's going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt Pete Sampras. Pete Sampras, in my opinion, although he's been hurt by that in the past, is fitter than he's ever been and quicker. And I think, well, 79 is not too bad, but this is starting to heat up. The humidity's high. It feels, I'll tell you, up here it feels hotter than that.
It does. Well, we've got our TV lights on, but they say it could go up to 93% humidity during the course of this day, but there is a little breeze here, as there has been throughout the tournament so far.
Korda waiting for some fans to sit down. Fans will be piling in for this round of 16 encounter. Highly entertaining match, we hope. Didn't take long for Pete to break the string.
About 15.
And it cost him, as he gave Korda an easy put away.
It should have cost him, but Korda missed it.
Right. He laid it up there for him, and he knocked it out of the park.
That was a pretty solid ground stroke, considering he just broken a string. Normally you lose 20, 30 pounds. You see guys just chip charge trying to get the point over with. Sampras hit a nice looking ground stroke. And Korda misses it. There's the break of the string right there. Hit the ball way too low on the rack. He takes a look, sees it's broken. He'll take the point. Korda can come up with shots like that from all angles. Just a beautiful guy to watch play tennis. Reminiscent of my idol, Rod Laver. Is Manya Woodstock at all in the Charlie Brown series? And we can do it on both wings, forehand and backhand. He's had a tougher road here than Sampras. Sampras has cruised.
We've got some gray skies with kind of all in one big lump up there. There's sunshine on the court. But one potential rain cloud hovering up there.
Lifetime record, Sampras 11-4. Last time Peter Korda beat him was 4 years ago, 93 Grand Slam Cup. That match scored, Tim, you ready? 13-11 in the 5th. Indoors, though.
Game. Korda.
So Korda holds to open this match. Pete Sampras with his second serve, opening point for him.
Love 15.
Well, Korda's come out firing. He's ready to go.
He's moving so beautifully to the ball. Grabbing it early, robbing Sampras of time, which is not that easy to do.
That's the difference in the two players' game. I mean, Sampras has got all the shots as well, but he's got that big heat.
Since the start of Wimbledon, this guy has only had his serve broken 6 times. 6 times in the last couple of months.
I lost my serve 6 times aboard the last tournament we played.
Nice volley stretched out by Sampras. That got the rise from the crowd.
30-15.
Say that was nice is an understatement. That was a good return. Sampras behind the service line angles it off beautifully there.
Just long from Korda. He's been struggling with injuries the past couple of years until '97. Had groin problems, eventually had a hernia surgery, and that helped him to recover. And he blamed himself afterwards for not really taking care of himself better, dealing with it earlier. Now he's feeling good, and here he is, ranked number 15.
He's had some good slam results. Quarters here in '95. French Open finalists. Remember back in '92, Jim Courier beat him easily. Quarters at Australia as well.
Game. Sampras.
Sampras hangs on. We're even at 1 first set. Best of 5.
1 game on.
The sun comes back out on the Arthur Ashe Stadium court. You see Sampras checking it. 11-4 the series lead for Pete Sampras. In their last meeting, we showed you some of the highlights at Wimbledon this year in the 4th round. 5-set victory. Sampras has won 5 in a row. Korda wants to turn that around.
Love 15.
You see Korda checking the sun. The cloud came over and just changed the lighting entirely, and both the Sampras and Korda having to check the sun return, and it's going to be in and out, it looks like, for a bit. Korda bothered by a camera, I believe.
15 on.
Yeah, and now he's still upset. Takes an immediate spin around to go and stare down the alleged offender. And apparently it was a spectator higher up who troubled him, not the professional photographers in their low perch courtside.
Well, don't bet on that, Tim.
Well, I can.
How about both? Oh.
30.
Good flexibility there in the back. Get away from that return. Korda's been ranked as high as 5 in the world.
Sample of his footwork there, making sure the ball didn't hit him on the fly.
Korda was 5 in the world in '92. And Tim, you mentioned 2 groin operations, one in '95, one in '96. When he came back, he was lucky enough to hook up with Tony Picard, who used to be at the helm for Stepan Edberg. Picard said, look, you know, if you really want to, if you're serious, you're going to have to get much fitter than you are now. He also had a heart scare, Peter Korda. I mean, this guy, it's a pity that he's suffered through so many medical problems, because he's always been a real fun guy to watch play. A pure shot maker.
First time he's been seeded here since 1993, when he was the number 9 seed.
I mean, these years that he was supposedly hurt, last year finished 24 in the world, 95, 41, 94, 18. So, I mean, he has not been out of the game that long. Out.
Game.
So Korda up 2-1, holding serve here in the first set. Tim Ryan, John McEnroe, Mary Carrillo back here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, and a reminder that following tennis, click on to CBS Sportsline for a chat with tennis great Guillermo Vilas. Opening point of game number 4. They're on serve. Sampras at 1-2 and Love 15. Good return from Korda.
You're not going to see a bigger pass than he just hit. Boy.
Korda's a streaky player. Sometimes he hits a purple patch and just rides it for games at a time.
15.
Well, Mary, because he hits so many great shots, and he's such a great shot maker. He just is a stubborn guy. He's undeterred. He will keep going for it, and he rarely pulls back, and that's been a problem with his in the past, especially against the better guys. They take advantage of those bad streaks, and he finds himself at the losing end of a match.
Sounds like you're describing another lefty who I always enjoyed watching, Henri Leconte of France. Pretty much had the same habits.
Very similar games. Very similar games. Henri had a little bit more weight on him, though. He had too much weight. If he gave some of his weight to Korda, we'd have some player.
Sampras at 40-15. Korda from the Czech Republic eliminated a fellow Czech, Martin Dahm, in the 3rd round. Get to this round of 16. Oh, well played. Korda.
And there's good experience there off the return. He was pulled out wide, but he didn't try to hit it too hard. He just sliced it nice and low. Sampras did the right thing coming in behind it, but gave Korda the angle, and he made the most of it. So often you see players today, when they're pulled out wide, just try to rip a winner. It's just such a low percentage shot.
Game.
Big serve at 118 from Sampras. Even things at 2-all.
2 games on.
There's a new drama from the creators of Hill Street Blues. It's so exciting, the first 9 minutes will blow you away. Brooklyn South is coming this fall to CBS. Don't miss it. Don't miss the first 9 minutes. Better watch the show that precedes it.
Sampras had a bad return game at 1-all in this set, now 2-all. Korda had only got in 1 first serve, and yet Sampras missed 4 returns. And there's another big miss.
30 love.
So
The
he's,
old lefty syndrome, Mary. He's not used to that lefty. 85–90% of the players on the tour right-handed. Korda looking to take full advantage.
Korda at 40 love. Pete Sampras got here through these gentlemen. Todd Larkham, a young Australian nobody had ever heard of, including Todd. Patrick Bauer and Alex Radulescu, 2 players from Germany. And without loss of a set, here he is against Korda.
In all honesty, it would have been surprised if had he lost a set to any of those 3 guys. This is the guy
40.
who's really class or 2 above those other players. So this is Pete's first real test.
Game, Korda.
Korda with an ace and a 3-2 lead here in the first set.
Korda leads 3 games to 2.
Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo, John McEnroe. Pete Sampras serving at 2-3. First set against Peter Korda from the Czech Republic, the number 15 seed, playing the number 1 seed, Peter Sampras.
Peter Sampras.
don't call him Peter. Don't ever call him Petey.
I just, it's formal for the Arthur Ashe Stadium court. That's all.
15 love.
I know I'm at high risk having done so.
Well, I sent in my ranking sheet in the 14 and under. I called myself Jonathan McEnroe. My dad wouldn't speak to me for 2 months. Sent a letter and complained to the USTA, and they sent the form back showing that I had signed it that way. Got caught red-handed. Sampras quickly to 30 love. Fiddling around with those strings, extremely tight, and it'll be a little bit tighter. This ball flying this New York air. Boy, ball, I'll tell you, each day it looks like this court's getting a little bit quicker out there. Heat and humidity, or it's not too humid. The ball's going to go in fast, and these guys are hitting some big shots.
40 love.
Quickly to 40 love. John, I heard you make that comment before about the court appearing to be faster. How do you see that, and what causes it?
Well, a week before the event, they just resurface it, get it ready for the U.S. Open. Then the players, there's another ace. Game for Pete. Players practice on it. Balls are hit on it. Sneakers are
3 games
moving around on the court. All those factors. And then when you get out there as a player, the nerves come into play. You're playing in front of all these people instead of an empty stadium, and suddenly everything seems faster.
Good to say the nerves also make it faster.
Absolutely.
But anything is going to take that, the top surface. It's going to make it slicker with time, with weather, with wear and tear.
Slugfest won by Sampras. We're at 3-all in the first set on serve of 15.
The danger against Pete's heat from the baseline is you want to give yourself another fraction of a moment to react to his shot so you step beyond the baseline. But now that means that you're hitting tougher shots from weaker positions yourself. When Agassi was at his best, he would stand toe-to-toe with Sampras from the baseline. See Pete stepping in.
Tell you, Korda didn't do a bad job there. Stepping in.
Man.
I don't think you can see him take too many steps backwards in this match. That's not his style.
Korda's timing. I mean, when his timing is good, and right now, He's timing the ball very sweetly. You know, he can take those real quick swings, those big follow-throughs, and get a lot on the ball.
Sampras has had a serve up at 128. 12 miles an hour faster than Korda.
Matter of fact, Mary, the guy I think you'll see take a step or two back is Sampras. He'll let Korda make those errors that he tends to get in patches. At that point, he was sort of waiting on Korda. That's a somewhat dangerous play.
Yeah.
Moving back here.
Well, they're wailing on the ball, both of them. And again, Sampras being pushed back. Well, if you want to hug the baseline, you better have the kind of timing that Korda is showing now, that Agassi shows at his very best. Otherwise, you're going to be shanking them all over the place and catching them late.
Peter Korda married a former tennis player, Regina. You got this one, Mary? Ratcher-Tova?
Pretty close. They have a beautiful little girl.
And that certainly settled Peter down.
Regina Rakitova. Good, thoughtful player, a baseline. Also from the Czech Republic. They spend a lot of time living in Florida now.
Peter Korda serving very consistently and hitting effectively. CBS Sports coverage of the Open continues after this message and a word from your local station. 15 seed Peter Korda leading Pete Sampras 4-3 on serve in the first set. So far he's been able to trade shot for shot with the top seeded Pete Sampras.
New balls, as if they're not hitting it hard enough already. They get some fresh ones.
15.
I used to have to play against this woman, now married to Peter Korda. His wife, Regina. They have a beautiful little daughter, Jessica. Looks just like Regina.
15.
Well, I'm not going to say that's good news for the family, but that's good news for the family.
Thanks for not saying.
Well, the girls ought to look like their moms and the guys ought to look like their dads.
What a shot there.
Good return.
That's a tremendous return. I mean, that is not an easy serve to deal with.
15.
You move forward at an angle is what you have to do with a guy serving that well, you see. Didn't move sideways, moved step forward at an angle and was able to produce that angle. 15-30. Chance for Korda. Remember, he went 6-4 in the fifth with Korda, but never lost serve. So this is a huge opportunity for Korda.
Sampras has only faced 2 break points so far in this U.S. Open.
Look at how nifty he has been. 28 aces, only 5 double faults, 88% on his first serve, points won.
I don't think that's the kind of point he wants to play with Korda, though. Korda is a big hitting shot maker from the baseline. He may not have a better chance than that.
John, how much of that in the early time in a match becomes kind of a test of wills between the number 1 and 15?
It's very important because Sampras has cruised so easily. Korda knows that. He wants to show he's going to be there not only to compete but to win this match. If he could get an early break here, a great boost of confidence for him. Sneak out this first set.
Just missed it.
That's a good overroll, actually.
It looked like it hit the line, but the linesman saw it out, but it has been overruled.
Bad luck for Peter Korda. Let's see what he has to say about it.
And you can see on that replay, it appears to be right on the line. And thus the overrule from Steve Ulrich from Tampa, Florida.
He's formerly known as Steve No Overrule Ulrich, so that's a gutsy call right there.
Well, that one's right in front of him on the near sideline. At least he had a good view. Two break points saved.
Sampras is clearly the tighter of the two so far. That was a very makeable volley.
Sampras continues to go into the Korda backhand. Korda's backhand is holding up great on these returns.
Third break point.
Not the best time to break a string there between first and second serve. That's two already in this match.
How many rackets did you say he brings on the court?
He brings 8 to 10. He's probably got 4 or 5 strung at one tension, and the other 4 or 5 slightly tighter. And he will also give Paul Annacone, his coach, the rackets that he breaks to get him restrung. So he'll have plenty of rackets to go to. This is a tough situation. The good news for him is that his rackets are all perfectly balanced. And Jay Schride, his stringer, who's a stringer for all the players at the U.S. Open, gets them done to his liking. Second serve. Korda cannot believe he missed that second serve. What a chance wasted there.
Back to deuce. Sampras struggling for the first time. 3 break points in one game. He only had 2 coming into this match through 3 rounds. Korda thought that one was out. Not the last shot, but the one prior that was right on the line.
He's still mad about that other one, Tim, at break point. That one was on the line as well. Very, very close, but both calls correct. First the overrule and then the no call there.
Tough game for Korda. 3 break point chances lost. Advantage Sampras. Second serve.
Game Sampras.
And Sampras survives 3 break point opportunities for Korda and evens it overall. Now remember, for a recap of the day's matches plus the latest news around the National Tennis Center, watch U.S. Open Late Night, sponsored by American Express, tonight through Friday night, just after the Late Show with David Letterman. Pat O'Brien, Mary Carrillo, and Patrick McEnroe will keep you up to date with everything going on here at the Open, following David Letterman tonight.
Says a lot about Sampras that even though he's not playing the way he wants to yet in this match, that he was willing under tough situations that last game to play so close to the lines.
This is where Korda's got to be careful. There, he did play awful close. I'm not sure he meant to hit that. If he meant to hit that close to line, then I'd truly be impressed.
It's like 3 different key points. Boy, Korda was hoping for an overrule.
Tends to go for too much on that forehand like he did there.
30-15.
He's got an improved first serve. He's got more pop on his serve than I've seen in the past for Korda, and that's getting him some free points, which is extremely important, needless to say, against Sampras. You know, in this type of weather, the nerves has had a tendency to affect Pete as well. Remember the match with Izaga a few years ago, obviously Croatia last year. I think he's fitter than he's ever been, so that may overcome that, but Edberg as well. When he lost to Stefan in the finals back 92 or 3.
It's the most humid day so far in the tournament, and in a long match, which he hopes to not be in, that could have an effect.
Game, Korda.
And Korda holds again. We're on serve at 5-4.
Korda leads 5-4.
That's the next time when you're going to make the overlap.
Tim Ryan, Mary Carrillo, John McEnroe at Arthur Ashe Stadium. 5-4 Korda first set. Hazy skies. Hot, muggy afternoon here in New York. Sampras with his first leap of the day to nail that overhead. Always gets 15 applause.
This is my personal favorite shot. Just wish I could do something remotely close to that at this point. I've been working on it for months, Tim, for the seniors tour.
Send us some video when you get one like that.
The video that you'd see so far was similar to what Gimmelstob tried last night. He tried that shot and mishit it badly on a big point that really cost him.
Justin Gimmelstob going out at the hands of Wayne Ferreira, who I now consider to be a very dangerous guy in this final group heading into the quarters.
Well, he's going to have his hands full against Magnus Larsson. They just played a great match in Indianapolis, 12-10 third set tiebreaker, so that should be interesting. Korda's got Sampras thinking out there.
15-30.
He looks more comfortable.
Korda's getting back a lot more returns than Pete, who's only won 6 points in 5 Korda service games.
Well, you don't see him miss a shot like that very often.
Well, 5 of those 6 points that Pete got on Korda's serve were unforced errors from Korda. So, I mean, Pete hasn't made an impression on Korda's serve, and Korda's reading his.
The other problem for Pete, he's actually serving like a human being at 50%. It's not up as high as he was at Wimbledon, 68, 70% for the entire tournament. Some other matches we've seen, even Cincinnati served about 90% against Mooster in the finals. I mean, that's frightening. Two big first serves there.
40.
Get him to 40-30. Not with the pace of a usual Sampras bomb, but well placed.
That's what you continually talk about, John. That he's the best server not because he's the hardest, but because of how well he plays it.
Game.
There's
Like
a perfect
that. Second ace.
5-4.
We're tied at 5. 5 all in the first set on this beautiful Labor Day in New York. What a better way to celebrate than with the U.S. Open being played out on the courts, and in the sky above, the Fujifilm blimp. And you can see how hazy it has become here as the day has gone on.
He's done that a couple of times. Match just underway between the Aussies, Scott Draper and Jonas Bjorkman. The winner of that match will take on the winner of this one.
Well, even the #1 player in the world takes too big a swing sometimes on that forehand. That's an easy ball for Pete there. He's feeling the pressure. 5-all.
Oh, nice shot from Korda.
Perfect technique. Got the body weight moving forward. His wife's happy about that, obviously.
Not a lot of body weight, but what's there went into this shot.
Everything that he had, right into it. Followed the racket, followed the direction of the ball. That's what you should do. And subsequently, a beautiful winner.
Mary, you've been talking about when he's got the timing on. Well, he's got it on in this set. He gets streaky like that. Doesn't miss too many. On the other hand,
To go off and throw in double faults. His second. Good time to take a step back, regroup.
Timid ground stroke we've seen from Peter Korda. Not a good time for him to be going into any kind of a shell. There we go.
Once again, a well-placed serve. Not a big first serve. It's slicing away from Sampras. And this time he makes no mistake, takes it nice and early on the rise. He'll make that almost every time.
come on, and a 6-5 lead in the first set. Peter Korda, they are on serve. We'll be back with more from the U.S. Open in a moment, but first, Pat O'Brien introduces us to one of the new faces in tennis. Pete Sampras trying to get even and force the tiebreak in the first set. Nice return from Peter Korda.
Well, Sampras continues to go to the Korda backhand on the deuce side, and Korda continues to be there for it.
That's a tough shot, but Pete looked a little sluggish on that half volley. 55% is not that great for Sampras.
Love 30.
What do we have here? Love 30, 2 points from losing his first set. It's not often when you see Pete Sampras making more unforced errors than his opponent, especially a guy who's streaky like Korda.
And having fewer winners.
Korda with a second service chance. From Korda, reply long from Sampras. 3 break points for the set. How often have we seen that before? His third ace. There's Kimberly Williams in the white top there on the right at the back.
It's actually Jeff Salzenstein obviously warmed Pete up. A lefty did real well against Michael Chang, so some nice potential there. There's 2 points gone. 30. One more set point for the Czech. Get ready for the scissor kick.
Not so soon. Not yet. Deuce. Sampras saved 3 break points back in the 7th game. The 8th game, pardon me. The set. They get 4 all. He's done it again here.
Left.
Sampras
advantage, Sampras.
1 point away from the tiebreak.
It's one thing to hit those backhand returns first point of the game. Another thing to do it at set point or a deuce. A couple errors from Korda on the backhand side.
So Sampras digs himself out of that. 3 break points. He had to do it twice in this set. And they remain on serve into the tiebreak.
Poor Kimberly Williams, she hasn't watched Pete play for more than a couple of months now, but every time she sees him against Korda, she must be thinking, who is this guy?
Well, the first to 7 in this 12-point tiebreak is the winner. You must win by 2 points. Korda will serve first, and then
1-0.
That was an awful close call there. I don't know.
head-to-head in
Let's get the
tiebreaks
Macam out.
against each other. Korda leads 5-3 here.
Good call.
Just out.
Well done.
Yeah. Sharp-eyed linesman. Korda leads 5-3 in head-to-head tiebreaks against Pete Sampras, for whatever that's worth. Sampras will serve these 2 points, and they'll alternate.
Well, I suppose it's worth mentioning. Side out backhand winner.
1-1.
Trying to rebound after losing that triple set point. Pete kicks up that serve to the Korda backhand, and only can watch that winning return.
Four aces for Pete Sampras, and a 2-1 lead in the tiebreak first set.
It's a beautifully angled volley from Peter Korda. Not only did he hit a fine approach shot, but he continued to close the net, and that's why he got himself such a nice sharp angle. Another great approach.
3-2. Korda.
Take a look at this.
Korda.
First thing.
He's been watching.
He hasn't won the set yet.
Yeah, does his Pete Townsend anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he's any threat to Baryshnikov yet, but
I don't think he's doing very.
I disagree with you.
you gotta love the time he chooses to do it. Changing over in the tiebreak. 2-4, Sampras.
4-3. Korda.
You can see this year Sampras 8-10 in the tiebreak department. Korda 16-12. Sampras got one back there to 3-4. Now the service to Korda.
Remember, a couple of those tiebreak losses were at Wimbledon. Pete suffered against Korda.
Some high-quality tennis going on now.
That was the first fifth pump we've seen from Sampras.
Well, he had to do something to counteract that scissor kick of Korda, but this is a big-time pass up the line. Korda should have been a little closer to that line, though. Left that wide open for Pete.
4-all on the tiebreak.
Second set.
was just itching to chip charge there. He stood well inside the baseline, waited 15, 20 seconds. Korda could see it coming, but Pete doesn't normally do that, so he wasn't sure if he actually would, and he did, and he got the error. He adds that to his arsenal. Watch out.
Sampras, 5-4. Has the set on his racket. Needs one more.
6-4. Sampras.
About 10 minutes ago, Peter Korda had 3 set points against Sampras.
Where does he serve it here, Mac?
I think it's going to go out wide again.
And Sampras out of the hole into a first set win.
7 games to 6.
Against Peter Korda. There's a beautiful shot of the sky here over Arthur Ashe Stadium, and things look very promising for our weather to be dry the rest of the day here, from that picture at least. Sampras serving to open the second set. He's up a set. Bjorkman up a break over Scott Draper over on Stadium 2.
He should have gotten a call.
15 left.
Another appeal to Steve Ulrich in the chair. He's getting crabby now. He has not won a point since his scissor kick as he changed ends with him up 4-2 in the first set tiebreak.
30.
Ace number 5 for Sampras.
Probably should have waited till he'd won that first set.
Yeah, I think everybody enjoyed the scissor kick except the server.
Yes, I don't know. The 6-point changeover in a tiebreak. Not time to do a jeté or whatever that was.
What Peter was complaining about, you always say it's always hitting the line. The problem is he has hit the line. Everyone has hit the line.
He should be complaining to Sampras, not Ulrich.
Yeah. You can just see out there the feet has settled down, loosened up just a little bit, and Korda better watch out now because the ground strokes are starting to flow. Service percentage is starting to pick up. And Pete Sampras is starting to get into first gear here.
And hit the lines. And return for Korda, 40-15. Mary, that would have to be the best set of tennis we've seen played by the men in this tournament.
I didn't mind watching that first set at all.
High quality, high level.
Notice Bjorkman, who was up a break and will play if he wins Pete or Korda. Presumably Pete is playing some pretty high quality tennis too. So,
but I think by 2 players, that was probably the best set we've seen.
Game.
Sampras. CBS Sports coverage of the U.S. Open will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the U.S. Open, a USTA event, is sponsored by Nike, Fidelity Investments, Fujifilm, and by Gateway 2000.
Peter Korda, his first service game of set number 2 of 15. Sampras won the first set in the tiebreak, held first game of the second set. Look at the old and the new as we came back to you. Arthur Ashe Stadium, where we are here for Korda Sampras and Bjorkman and Draper, with Bjorkman still up break on Stadium 2.
39.
Now 5-3 for Jonas Bjorkman of Sweden over Scott Draper of Australia on the Stadium 2 court, the former Louis Armstrong Stadium. And there's a wonderful look at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Above 30.
Korda not nearly as sharp as he was at the beginning of this first set of this match, and Pete's game seems to be rising. That's bad news for Korda. These two were separated by only 2 points in that opening set.
Long. 15-30. Well, one stat Korda doesn't want to see is that Pete Sampras is 40-3 at the U.S. Open after winning the first set. Once he gets his teeth on the bit in this tournament, a hard guy to catch.
30.
Well, Korda's played quite well. He had triple set point, so he should not change anything.
Right.
Doesn't need to press anymore. He's given Sampras all he can handle. Pete has picked it up, but if he starts pressing, then this is going to be a straight set match. Pete looks so much more comfortable from the baseline right now, though. Looks like he's the one that's got more time. Perhaps he's got a little wind behind him right now, and Korda too far behind the baseline. That's not where he's his most effective. Break point now for Pete. Get up early in the second.
Advantage of his first break point of the match and takes a 2-love lead here in the second set up a set.
Six of those break point opportunities of Korda's, half of those were set points. Pete really did a tremendous job of serving his way out of trouble in that opening tie-break set. Pretty even on winners. Just 1 hour old so far. But Pete already up a set and a break. Boy, the last 10 minutes or so have been very good to Sampras.
It's even gotten a little bit cooler for him out there.
Jonas Bjorkman has won the first set over on Stadium 2 over Scott Draper of Australia.
I'll be surprised if Draper can stay with Bjorkman. Best tennis I've ever seen Jonas play. The fittest he's ever been. Serving harder than ever. Full of confidence. Win over Kierton in the last round. He beat Todd Martin the second round. He's got the confidence in full gear. The young Swede. Bjorkman, by the way, one of 3 male players still in the men's and the singles and doubles. Patrick Rafter playing with Philippoussis. Bjorkman, Culte play each other in the round of 16. I think that will be tomorrow. And Wayne Ferreira in the round of 16 of doubles with David Adams. They beat the number 2 seeds Eltine Harthouse in the previous round. See if that affects any of those players in the singles. Hopefully in a good way, so we can get more of the top guys to play doubles.
Right. Should it affect them adversely?
Well, sometimes with rain and things of that nature, scheduling can become a problem.
Scheduling, yeah.
But other than that, no, because at least through I think it's the quarters, they start playing best of 5.
Sampras holds for 3 love here in the second set. He has the set in hand.
Sampras leads 3 games to 1.
Well, the gloom has overtaken the sun again here, and so far everything remains dry. We hope it stays that way. Korda serving at love 3 down a set against Pete Sampras.
15 love.
Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo and John McEnroe, and Korda cannot afford to get gloomy like the sky. And he didn't so far. Second ace for Peter Korda. Korda quickly to 40 love. And he holds effectively, but he's still down a break here in the second set. So this fall, Gregory Hines makes his television debut on CBS as a single dad trying to raise a son in the 90s. The Gregory Hines Show is on the new CBS Friday nights this fall. Speaking of dancers and Korda moves. Punctuation mark from Sampras.
That's always fun to hit a shot like that.
All the way up into the, I was going to say the cheap seats. There aren't any. Up there. It's up there somewhere in the high price seats.
Rain just starting to fall on Stadium Court.
Pete didn't do enough of that half volley. Korda still got one of the great backhands in the game. Beautiful to watch. Gets that racket back nice and early. Gets that body weight moving forward. Beautifully done by Korda there.
Sampras 67% going to the net.
Beautiful slice return that set up that eventual error off Sampras's back, and what a shot that was. It's got so much feel, Peter Korda. He's moving quickly to the center of the court, trying to keep his balance, comes in, and his reward, 15-30. Trying to get back on serve in the second set. That wasn't wide by much.
Yeah, he thought he had the center line. Whistles from way up there where the people have a great view.
I don't know about that call there. Let's get the Mac cam out. That ball looked like it skidded.
Korda thinks so too.
I think he might have gotten his first. Yeah, that ball was clearly in. And you can see the ball skid, which it does on a line. They should tell those linesmen that in the linesman school, whatever you call it, umpiring school. And they should have their eyes checked every now and then. That would help.
Well, there's the Visine Mac Cam. That special camera can capture speeds of over 100 miles per hour or better.
Meanwhile, Korda with breakpoint number 7 here. Yet to capitalize. Another chance. That one he'd love back because he's made that all day, but he's missed them on the break points.
Another broken string.
Look at where he's got his racket now on his head. That's pretty. See, he's one of the few guys that can put the racket on top of his head because of his hair, and it will stick. See that?
Right, yeah.
I told you he had good balance.
Well, he's a colorful guy, and he's fun to watch. Exciting when he gets going. Makes some fabulous shots.
He needs this point right here, though. Capitalize on one break point, get himself back in the second set. He's got to look at his second serve, too.
Sampras tried to go down the tee. double fault, and they're back on serve. Sampras up a set. And Sampras ahead here. Korda serving at 2-3, but on serve.
It wasn't a long-range delay, but it did give both players an opportunity, if they chose to do so, to talk to their coaches, see if anything changes in either of the two players' game plans. I know what Paul Anacone would tell Pete: be more aggressive. Pete come in on end of the kitchen sink, Anacone, when he played.
15-0.
Don't you get the feeling, though, John, that Pete doesn't like a lot of people telling him what they think he should do? I mean, I think this guy doesn't take a lot of coaching.
You know, I get the feeling of that about 98 of the top 100. They don't like to be told what to do. I'm trying to think of the two as we speak that will listen.
Oh, but I mean, Pete doesn't even ever look over to Paul Anacone. Hingis doesn't ever look over at her mom when she's playing. I kind of like that.
Either one of them affected by this break. You've got one guy behind. You always think there's got to be some kind of advantage taken by one or the other.
Totally unpredictable at this point.
Yeah, especially with Peter Korda.
Pete's made 3 easy errors this game to go down 45, so he's not back in the flow yet. He's still probably thinking about that double fault, loose serve. 3-1. That's got to be annoying to him. Give this break back to Korda, who's looking to level the match 3-all in the second set.
Big Korda. And we're even at 3 in the second set.
3 games on.
Pete just blocked that ball back, and Korda hit about as big a forehand as you can hit from that position right there. Beautifully done. But if he's got time, obviously, he's not going to make nearly as many errors.
$15.
7 aces for Sampras. And even though Korda's swings are pretty elaborate, they're quick.
Yes, they are quick. 7 aces for Sampras so far.
Look at that racket speed. And it's a pretty big take back, a long windup, but it all happens in a whiplash.
Well, if you look at his backhand, it's far less of a windup than the other side. He takes that ball back nice and early. Racket back, excuse me, rips a winner cross court. Sampras 2 good serves out wide at the deuce court have gotten him to 30-15. Todd Martin, in my opinion, does that better than any other player. Looking to recover from elbow problems.
8 aces for Sampras. 40-15. And the women's doubles third round action in Stadium 3. The top seeds, Fernandez and Zvereva, ousting the 10 seeds, Raymond and Stubbs, pair of Americans. Lisa Raymond, one American. Not Renee Stubbs.
Pete hits what he thinks is a big winning first serve. Korda just blocks it back. No big backswing there necessary.
Again, so sweetly timed by Korda. Sped past Pete before he was out of his serve windup.
Game. Sampras.
Sampras at 4 games to 3 up a set.
4 games to 3.
Peter Korda serving at 3-4 in the second set, down a set to the number 1 seed, Pete Sampras.
15 left.
They are are on serve here in the second. Third ace for Peter Korda. Native of the Czech Republic. Lives in Monte Carlo and Model Town in the U.S.
15-0.
Korda's upset about it.
Yeah. He's giving his opinion to the base linesman there.
Well, the good news for him was he stayed with it, though, and hit a big pass, because he really would have been angry if he had lost the point. And once again, the player is right.
Right.
It's annoying. It's just wonderful to see, actually, how often they're right.
Well, yeah, but I honestly think that a lot of times, I think Korda, that's maybe the first time his home match Korda's been right. He's just gotten a little crabby. In that instance, he was correct, but
no, I think
he's got to stop worrying about some of these calls. I mean, Pete's been painting lines. That's how he got out of the first set.
Second time we've seen this Korda with a good get number one. Pete made the mistake of going right back to him, and they took this in the air. Smart play there by Korda. And Mary, the reason he was upset with the earlier call, though, was that I think he knows it was in. It was the fact that it was in by 1/10 of an inch, and the guy overruled it. He was called out and overruled in. It's supposed to be a clear mistake under the rules.
It's wide, and Korda changing rackets. Sampras at 15 love. Yorkman now up 2 sets over Scott Draper in the round of 16 over in Stadium 2. And on your screen, a view from the Fujifilm blimp, which for its 9th straight year spending Labor Day here, and a good look at the blimp itself, just high up in the beautiful Arthur Ashe Stadium. And that blimp provides pictures for the CBS World feed, as well as our CBS Sports coverage. Read the card. Did you write it? Is that what I want to hear?
30-15.
Sampras. 4-all second set. Sampras won the first in a tiebreak. Boy, he's had a lot of those.
He usually does when he gets out there in a tennis court. Pete did well to get that volley back. A Korda just hit too good a pass. See him change that grip to the backhand side. Plenty of time. And boy, is he dangerous when he has time.
Korda's had 8 backhand winners so far. There, the winner's unforced errors for Sampras, all even. That's a little unusual.
Got bothered by Korda's pace there on the forehand. Looked like he tried to put a little extra on it, took a little bit extra of a backswing, and because of that, caught it late. And he's not going to give up on that serve out wide. He believes that his serve is better than Korda's backhand return, which is saying something.
Yes, it is, yeah. Again, the test of wills.
Game.
Down the middle that time. And it is 5-4 Sampras. He is up a set. Well, still lots of stuff going on outside of the Arthur Ashe Stadium court. Fans out there enjoying the beautiful new grounds here. Korda
15-love.
nails a forehand for 15-love. He's at 4-5 in the second set. They're on serve, each having a break in this set.
You can only write that off to nerves. The first one he ripped easily for a winner. This time at probably an easier forehand, but pulled up.
Serving at 58% to this point and winning 73% of those points.
Another error off the ground. 2 points from a 2 sets lead for Pete Sampras. 15-30.
In the meantime, Scott Draper of Australia fighting back against Jonas Bjorkman. Draper exhausted after his last round match against Jeff Tarango, winning at 6-4 in the fifth. Still trying to figure out a way to beat Bjorkman.
Sampras can't believe he missed that forehand by that much. Had that one lined up. I think he decided the last second he was going to take a little bit of the mustard off it, but that's even he is shocked how badly he handled that.
23
He's still saying
errors.
wow.
Right, wow. Well, that number of errors is unusual for him. Wow, huge forehand from Korda.
He sweeps up under the ball on his forehand. He can do it on his backhand as well. And again, all that racket speed generates incredible power and pace.
He certainly doesn't get the power from his upper body. It's that rotation, the hip rotation, and the strength he's got on the wrist, and he's held for 5 all.
5 games.
Sampras clearly struggling today, not playing up to the top of his ability. A lot of it has to do with Korda and the pressure of trying to win this U.S. Open again. And obviously expected to do so.
Heavy favorite here. His second double fault. It is the toughest tournament in tennis.
It's on the line.
I don't think Pete Sampras thinks this is a tougher tournament to win than the French Open, which he's never won.
That is true.
But Pete...
Bit of a miss hit from Korda, but he uses that body language to drop it right on the line. Love 30 now.
Pete's a little fortunate that, though it's very muggy out here, it's not hot. Another double fault, second into this game, 3rd and all.
40.
And 3 chances for Korda to go up 6-5 and serve out set number 2. Sampras climbed out of a love 40 triple set point game in the first set.
Korda.
There it is. That one was actually a little better. Style points.
Korda leads 6 games.
And we're
Maybe you should wait to the end of the set, but I'd prefer to see it anyway. Because wait till he wins the set. We'll see what happens.
Here it comes. All right. That's a 9.5. It is love 15. Peter Korda serving for the second set.
Not good movement there from Sampras. Always a great play, though, Mary, to go behind your opponent. Any surface, even hard courts where you can get better traction, but Pete reacted slowly there.
He's had only 6 winners in this set, Sampras, against 12 unforced errors. There's another.
Let's not forget, 15, 20 minutes ago, before that rain break, he was up break early in the second. Looks like Korda's about to level this at 1 set all. Now I can answer your question, Tim, about who the rain delay affected more.
Yeah, right.
Pretty clear.
Peter Korda has evened this match. 7-5 in the second. Sampras won the first in a tiebreak. Round of 16 battle between the top seed Sampras, number 15, Peter Korda. It was a very high quality of tennis, evenly divided in the first set, but Sampras, in losing his first set of the entire tournament, definitely fell off in the second set here. And Korda with a fine return for the first point.
We've seen that before.
I think Pete better start changing up the look he's giving Korda on that deuce court. Move it in, jam him into his body a little bit, move it around the box a little bit more.
Tony Traber, who's working over at Louis Armstrong, always told me during Davis Cup matches, utilize that serve into the body, and it would be a good idea for Pete here. Unless you can get a bigger angle out wide.
As he did there.
It's number 9 for Sampras. Of course, when Korda turns sideways, you can barely see his body.
Sampras quickly to 40-15, stepping it up as he often does when the heat's on. Wanting to get off well in set number 3.
Game.
Wide again and made it pay off. He's up 1 love.
First game, 3rd set.
Peter Korda quickly to 15 love here. Down love 1 in the 3rd set. We're all even a set apiece. Peter Korda, the number 15 seed from the Czech Republic. An ace for Korda. 4 for him.
Just not a good return game for Sampras. He used to really hate playing lefties, but since he lost to Korda back in '93, he's only taken 2 losses to lefties. Tomas Muster beat him indoors a couple of winters ago, and Goran Ivanisevic got him at last year's Lipton event.
Game.
I'll tell you what it looks like now, like he ate something bad in the locker room and then break. He looks like he's Needs a little time to digest something.
And Tim, you saw some blisters on Pete's feet a couple of days ago.
Yes, I don't know whether that's a factor. I mean, I don't think we've seen it in his movement at all, but and something disturbed him in the crowd. He pulls away from his service motion.
For some reason, he's gone flat.
There's that backhand up the line again. Pete knows he's got to hit a better first serve.
Or a different one.
Well, that's an extremely difficult serve for a lefty to handle, Mary, if he gets enough slice out wide. Now, he obviously feels he can do it, and he just, when he doesn't do it, Korda takes advantage, like all great players should.
Pete changing it up, going down the middle that time, but he misses.
Sneakers that he's using now, these are the same ones, different color than he was using in Wimbledon, but here on hard courts, there's not as much cushion on these Nikes here as normal. They play closer to the ground. You feel like you can move faster, but that's the price you may pay with those. That's good. Oh, I thought that was going to go long, but no.
Great topspin from Korda. 30 all.
Hit that one awful high, but perfectly done. No chance for Sampras. Korda tell him, why did I go for so much on that shot? Playing so well, for the most part within myself, but unnecessary there.
Big serve down the tee from Sampras. 2-1.
And now, this tournament summary sponsored by Gateway 2000 Direct Personal Computers.
Well, on this hazy day, a quick look at our tournament summary. Martina Hingis improves to 60-2 in 1997. And Andre Agassi will face the number 13 seed, the red-hot Rafter of Australia, in the 4th round. Michael Chang becomes the youngest man to win an open match at 15 years, 6 months back in 1987. Does it seem that long ago? Last game of the second set, Mary.
And Sampras definitely, he looked sluggish for some reason. He was very flat, barely moving his feet. And that's why he's in this situation now. Back live.
15 love.
Korda serving at 15 love on serve in the 3rd.
He tried a chip charge. Korda responded with a backhand winner up the line.
After struggling in last year's U.S. Open, especially against Alex Correia before winning the title, Pete got himself checked out. And it seems that he suffers from something the rest of his family, part of his family, suffer from. Thalassemia minor. It is a condition known to plague people of Mediterranean extraction, and it inhibits the blood's ability to carry oxygen. And that's why he was always getting so tired, he thinks. Although he doesn't blame that on his U.S. Open woes last year. But finally he said, I decided I had to get in better shape. He hadn't done weights in the last few years. He had never done any bike work. He said he just always figured he could get by. Now this year he has spent a lot of time being as fit as possible.
Korda, love game for 2-all in the 3rd.
And again, it seems that Sampras is having all kinds of problems moving, not really reacting to the ball, sticking his racket out.
Well, we've seen this before at the U.S. Open.
We sure have, John.
It is so hard to get through here easily. This tournament is not designed to have anybody just roll on through without problems. That's wide. And even the #1 seed is going to have at least one difficult match, so it seems. And this looks like it's Sampras so far.
Again, he's playing so casually. He's not putting in enough of effort with his feet to get to the behind the ball for all these shots. One other thing that Pete has got is ulcers. I mean, this guy, he's got a. I mean, he tends not to show any real emotions on the court. He internalizes everything, and the last couple of years, he's gone to a very bland diet in an effort to keep his stomach quiet. That's a nice look at the serve. Number 10 for Sampras at 98 miles an hour out wide.
So Scott Draper up 5-1 against Bjorkman in the third set, but he's down 2 sets to the Swede.
That's what you call nerves, Mary.
Yeah.
And believe me, he ain't the only player that has that problem. He's just the most talked about because he's #1. All of us have that problem. Stomach ache, ulcers, butterflies. We have it up here in the booth, Tim. I'm trying to not make too many mistakes.
So it wasn't just those line calls that would get you upset when you played. It was.
I may have been one of the only guys that didn't have an ulcer. I was able to get it out.
I think you were more a carrier, frankly.
Sampras hangs on to go up 3-2.
I owe you one.
On serve in the third. Korda at 2-3. Serving. Passing.
15-0.
Pete Conley waited for his chance, chip charge, but that ball was too short. Korda's got one of the best backhands in the business that we've seen throughout this match. He's got to put a little bit more zip on that approach. He's having problems with his feet or feeling something in his stomach. He should probably, good idea to shorten the points and try to attack, force Korda to come up with the big passes.
There's pressure there.
And the shots he's coming in on, John, are so light now compared with what they were in the first set. And he's giving Korda a lot more time to prepare and take a big swing of his own.
And he definitely looked sluggish getting to that volley. I mean, that volley was a makeable shot, not an easy one. Korda did well to hit it as well as he did, but Pete should have done more with that. He shouldn't have missed that. Mary, a guy like Korda likes pace, so that's not a bad idea. Chip, take a little something off it, inch inside the baseline. I mean,
make him overswing on shots, throw off his timing a little bit.
Absolutely. He's done that before, Korda, so I thought that was a good play. Just a little sluggish with the volley.
Ooh, he was disgusted himself at that one. Korda's lost only 6 points in his last 8 service games. He has to be growing in confidence the way this match is turning. Point away from evening it at 3-all, evening the match. It was long, and we're all even again. Set apiece and 3-all in the third. Let's go down to Andrea Joyce at courtside.
All right, Tim, with Paul Anico and Pete Sampras' coach, any ideas, your speculation as to why he's sluggish here since the rain delay?
Well, I think he came out and he's made a few more unforced errors. But you got to give Peter some credit. He really hasn't missed any balls. He started off really well, and he's kept the pressure on by not making any mistakes. So Pete obviously has to raise the level of play a little bit here.
Need to be more aggressive?
Yeah, I think he could stand to be a little bit more aggressive, particularly on the side where he's playing with the wind. But I think that's the side that he's having trouble controlling his ground strokes on. So hopefully he'll figure it out and turn it around a little bit.
There was some talk that perhaps he's been bothered by blisters on his feet.
No, he's fine. There's nothing. He's got no problem.
Okay, back to you guys, Tim. Thanks.
All right, Paul Annacone weighing in as Pete Sampras' coach and confidant, being quite confidential.
I don't think he should be giving away that he has a lot of blisters, so that's not a big surprise to be mum on that. Surprised that he let one of these CBS guys up here take a look. Tim Ryan.
Your foot fetish has paid off for us.
40 love Sampras. It was a happenstance circumstance.
Whatever. We don't really want to hear any more about it.
Right.
Game
Sampras with a love game. Goes up 4-3 on serve. We'll be back with more from the U.S. Open in a moment. But first, Jim Nance takes a look at one of the players who makes a difference. Sampras at 4-3 on serve in the third set. They're a set apiece. Peter Korda will serve now, trying to even it 4-all. Sampras came up with a love game on serve after struggling through this third set. He's right here.
Sampras got down nicely for that volley there, but certainly didn't expect Korda to pull that shot off. I mean, that's a incredible shot right there.
When he's hot, and he hasn't cooled off much into this match. Well, deep into the third.
How's that for a shot?
Korda quickly to 40 love.
For a one-handed backhand, that's about the toughest shot you're going to hit, up high above your shoulders. He put some zip on it, placed it beautifully.
Game. Korda.
So a love game for Korda. He evens it at 4-all. In the third, the match dead even, and we remind you that tonight on CBS, welcome home to Big Comedy Monday. Bill Cosby Show, followed by Everybody Loves Raymond, Sybil and Murphy Brown, followed by Chicago Hope. It all starts at 8 Eastern right here on CBS. Forcing there. Scott Draper, meanwhile, over on Stadium 2 is up a break in the fourth set. Bjorkman leads 2-1. Scott Draper, the tough Aussie, not wanting to go away.
He looks a little like a dandelion. Hair moving in the breeze.
Yeah. Peter Korda playing some match here against the top seed. Mac, we've heard the players talking about the wind here being different than it was in the old Stadium Court. Now Stadium 2 doesn't swirl as much, but the wind does get in here. It tends to go in one direction or the other.
Well, I've heard varying reports.
Have you?
Yeah, some of the players have said it goes in one direction. Others said it swirled. Father Korda in a couple of those forehands. Oh, that's right on the line. Well deserved there. That's the best Peter Korda's move today.
30 all.
Shows you that hustle pays off. That was a great return. Pete Sampras hit a nice volley, but this is just too good. Right on the line.
Rising McCann confirms.
And this is starting to become a very interesting match here. Sampras is going to pick it up, hit one of his hardest serves of the day right there.
128 from Sampras, throwing the heat down the tee.
His fastest of the day right there.
You prod him a little bit, and he seems to reach back. That's why he's a great champion. Find something, some way, somehow.
Game.
And he is now 5-4. Sampras, you're on serve in the third. Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo, John McEnroe, Arthur Ashe Stadium. Peter Korda at 4-5. A set apiece here, 3 of 5 sets. Men's round of 16. Korda has just been serving well and doing everything well.
15 left.
Nonetheless, we're virtually dead even on serve here on the third.
Starting to drizzle again, so these players may be off the court soon. 2 non-returns in a row from Sampras. Not making much of an effort there. I'll bet he wouldn't mind getting off the court at this stage.
Yeah, he just didn't get to that one.
No.
Well, it hurt him the first time, but it may very well help him. Some more rain falls here at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Point for 5-all.
Game. Korda.
They chipped, but it wasn't an enthusiastic charge. Korda, with the pass, is evened it at 5-all.
He just sort of blocked this ball, put nothing on it, just sort of casually came into net and got what he deserved there. Korda, easy winner up the line.
Sampras checking the baselines for slippery conditions now. I'll bet he wouldn't mind getting off right around here.
Talked about how well Korda's playing. Sampras, for his part, has averaged only 22 errors and 44 winners in the first 3 rounds. Today, he has 33 errors already. We're only in the third set.
15.
Only 28 winners.
Take a look at who he was playing.
Yeah.
Now he's playing one of the best players in the world. It's a big difference.
But still not making the kinds of winning shots that he normally does, and certainly many more errors. Big serve.
30 left.
Korda's not happy with the court now either. Obviously, he better be able to move 100% off that return.
And they're talking to Steve Ulrich.
Who can blame Korda? Taking a bit of a slip on that last return. Stadium 2 play has already been suspended. And I would think at this point they both want to get off this court.
Steve Ulrich agrees with him now. He's come out, he's checked the lines, and he has agreed with the players. So we'll be suspended again here at 2:01 Eastern, time are we here? 5:15 Eastern time, 2:01 match time. And the players are at the moment in their chairs, and we'll see whether or not Brian Early decides to take them to the locker room. Tournament referee Brian Early.
The same as before.
Okay, Steve, we're going to hold for 5 minutes. Still laying after that. We'll set it. Okay, we got the clock on.
To hear Brian Early indicating, let's do what we did before. We'll wait here a few minutes. I think he said 4 or 5 minutes. See what happens. Give it a chance to dry. And that gives us a chance to bring you this commercial message. Maybe another one. Play was suspended for about 3 minutes with Sampras at 30-love in this 11th game of the third set. And they're back out there. He'd like to at least finish this one off. Second serve coming. 5-all, all even in the match.
Well, Pete better hope the court is dry. The way Korda was moving him around that point.
Skies are much more clouded than they were earlier. Ceiling appears to be still fairly high. .40-15. Sampras at point from 6-5 in the third. Goes to 6-5 in the third set. Korda serving now at 5-6, trying to force a tiebreak in the third. Sampras hasn't been as sharp in this set. Here we are with no breaks so far.
I don't know what happened. Something happened to Korda, though, back there.
Oh, boy, I hope it's not his groin again. He's already had 2 groin surgeries.
Well, he's grabbing that area. Something happened right here. He is in pain. He's trying to walk this off. We talked about he had a hernia operation, groin problems as well. See if he's okay. Let's hope he's okay.
That court was just a little bit slippery. He might have lost his footing a little bit and pulled something. And
he's limping right now.
He cannot afford to have problems. In '94, he had groin and hip problems. Sidelined him for 2 months. His ranking dropped from 12 to 18. Then he had hernia surgery in 1995. More groin surgery last year. Finally, he was healthy, and his ranking was climbing this year.
Let's take a look at it again.
This is 2 points ago. Stretching out, perhaps after that big forehand of Sampras's that he was able to get back. Sampras missed the backhand. But it may have hurt Korda.
Double fall to the next point, but he's up 30-15 here. Sampras charging, got the pressure on. Korda didn't get down to that the way he usually does.
And wouldn't Sampras like to tuck away this third set before more rain complicates this match?
Well, we've got drama overtaking this tight, tense match here now. Korda calls it out. Didn't have to do that. It was well out. 40-30. Play is not yet resumed on Stadium 2. And Korda holds to force the tiebreak, and he immediately stretches out.
Well, that may be the last of the scissor kick we see for this match, win or lose.
God forbid he hurt himself doing the scissor kick.
That? No. That's not permitted under McEnroe law.
Well, we've got the typical U.S. Open high drama beginning.
Now that's the biggest serve of the day, 129.
First point of the tiebreak to Sampras. Next two serves from Korda. The match dead even again.
Sampras' backhand has gone off on him at an inopportune time. Have to rely on that big serve. Pulling out of trouble once again. He's down 2-3 now. 1 set all, 3rd set tiebreak. 1-2, excuse me.
Left for 6.
Korda gets one from Sampras on his serve.
Well, here's when he got the break. Now from the winner, he's got plenty of time to line this up. Sees Pete moving cross court and guides it nicely up the line for the winner. No celebration yet from Korda.
.25-mile-an-hour ace.
His 13th and second of the tiebreak.
3-2 Korda.
What a forehand that was. If he gets it up high, there's not a lot of pace on it. Boy, is he dangerous.
They'll change ends, having played 6 points. First to 7 wins the tiebreak in the best of 12. Korda up 4 points to 2. Korda has one more serve coming now that they've changed ends.
Well, the shot of the match so far has been Peter Korda's backhand has just been phenomenal. Once again, hurts Sampras now. 2-5. Sampras to serve the next two.
Peter Korda's wife, Regina, showing attention. One point away from the third set.
6-2.
6-2 Korda.
This was a high-quality first serve. Korda did extremely well to get that ball so low, and then that's an easy winner for him. 4 set points.
7 games to 6.
The groin must be okay. Double scissor from Korda.
Leads 2 sets to 1.
And a 2-1 lead.